Welcome to Apple Classroom for iPad. In this video, Phase 2, Hit the Target, we're going to show you how to organize your Apple Classroom and also how to navigate student iPads remotely to cut down on transition times. Let's start by launching the Apple Classroom application. From here, let's go ahead and enter our classroom, in this case, our biology 5th period class. So in order to organize our Apple Classroom, we're going to want to choose the Select button, which is located in the upper right-hand corner of the screen. You'll now see new options in the bottom of your screen. Select All in the bottom left and Select None in the bottom right. We can also click on individual students to select a specific number of students. For this video, I'm going to go ahead and click on Student 1. Now, in order to organize our class, we can go ahead and create a new group that will include the students that we've currently got selected. In this case, it will be a group of 1 with Student 1 as the only member. After clicking New Group, it prompts me to name this group. I'm just going to go ahead and name it Group A. When I'm done typing, I'll just hit the OK button. We're now inside the group that we've just created, and if we don't want to make any edits, we can just go ahead and hit the Done button over here in the sidebar. Creating groups can be extremely helpful, especially if you have different skill levels of students in your classroom that received different materials for instruction or assessment, and we'll cover that later in video 3. Now, let's go ahead and look at some of the student actions that we can take by clicking on Student 1. An Actions toolbar will appear after clicking on Student 1. This gives us the ability to open up applications, navigate students to websites, view a student's screen, hide a screen and send a student's iPad to the home screen. We can lock an iPad with student permission, mute students who maybe their volume is on too loud, AirPlay student device screens to a Promethean board, say, or a TV in the classroom, and also just remove students from groups and or classes. First, I'd like to focus on opening applications on a student iPad, so let's go ahead and hit the Open button now. Inside Open, you will see a list of all applications that are on the specific student's iPad, and you can choose to force open that application on their iPad. If we pull our finger down, we're also given the ability to search for applications on a student iPad. This comes in handy when there are a lot of apps on a single device. As we scroll down, we'll see all of the apps that this student has on their iPad. Today, we're going to go ahead and look for the Keynote application to launch. Once we've found the application that we want to launch, just go ahead and press on it, in this case, Keynote. Apple Classroom lets us know when that application has been successfully opened on the student's iPad with this screen. From here, we can just go ahead and click Done to move on. Next, I'd like to show you how to navigate student iPads to different websites, but let's go ahead and return to All Students over here in the sidebar. This time, I want to navigate all students to the same website. So instead of clicking on an individual student, I'm going to click this navigation button up here in the top of the screen. That will launch the navigation window. From here, we want to go ahead and choose Safari so that we navigate students to a website. We now have choices in terms of where we want to navigate students, whether we want to choose a website that's in our favorites list, on our reading list, or a different folder that we have bookmarked. It's worth noting that you cannot navigate students to a specific website that hasn't already been bookmarked on your device, so make sure to do this step in advance of class. For today's video, I'm going to go ahead and choose my favorites list. From here, I'm just going to go ahead and navigate students to Edpuzzle for an assignment that they have to do for this class. After selecting the website that I'm navigating student iPads to, I get the green checkmark screen to let me know that iPads were successfully taken to that site. Once again, I can just hit Done and go back to my class. If at any point we want to view an individual student screen, we can go ahead and select on that individual student. I'm going to go ahead and choose Student 1 for this now. From the Actions bar that appears, I can then choose View Screen to view my student's screen. It's worth noting when you choose View Screen, students are prompted to either allow or not allow the teacher to see this. Once the student selects Allow, this is what you will see. In this case, Student 1 on edpuzzle.com, which was the website that we had navigated to moments earlier. When you're done viewing the screen, just go ahead and click Done in the upper right-hand corner to return back to your classroom. You can then click anywhere off of the Actions bar to return you to the Apple Classroom. That's going to conclude Part 2, Step Right Up, for the Apple Classroom Challenge. For submission of Step Right Up, go ahead and take a screenshot of your Apple Classroom with a group created, and also a screenshot of a student's iPad via view screen. Be sure to check out Part 3 of the Apple Classroom for iPad Challenge, Up for a Challenge. In that, we will cover how to send and receive documents to students so that they may complete assignments,